Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. Fall is officially upon us, but here in Franklin County, Columbus, it is quite warm. So in anticipation for the colder autumn or fall weather, I am recommending 16 amazing fragrances. For the most part, I have seen a lot of people recommending Gourmand fragrances for fall, winter. However, it is not everybody who is into Gourmand thick, dense, resonant fragrances. So I have a combination of everything. For those who are into florals, they'll get. For those who are into Gourmands, those who are into freshies, I have 16 amazing recommendations. The first fragrance I have here is about a week old in my fragrance collection, and I'm beating myself up for not picking this one earlier. I read some mixed reviews about it and I was a bit skeptical, but thank God I followed my instinct and then pulled the trigger on this one. And this one is called Junoon Rose. You can even see that the juice in this one is like pinkish red, and this one is so beautiful. So apparently it has some amaretto, which is a liqueur originated from or original to the Italians that I wasn't used to until I got this one, and I was able to pick it up. It gives off this gourmand amaretto liqueur vibes. Amaretto apparently gives off this very almondy, thick, rich, resonance, nutty vibes, and I get it from this fragrance. It is so beautiful. I get the rose, I get the suede. It is thick, it is rich, it is resonance. I think it is going to be super perfect for the colder autumn months. So this fragrance has been compared to Amouage's Blossom Love. I have no idea how that one is, but whatever this one is, it's amazing. It is gourmand, slightly boozy, a very powdered rose, scent, very warm, cozy, sensual, and very sexy. So this is Junoon Rose by Haramain. The next fragrance on this list is one that I charged upon. It was a blind buy. I picked it up without knowing what exactly it was, and upon looking at the bottle, I realized it was a dupe for Nina Ricci's Leg Stars, and this one is called Estrealla by Fragrance World. Guess what? I picked it up for $10. I know the original Leg Stars is quite, on the affordable side. I picked this one up without knowing what this one was, and I'm not disappointed. It gives me oud satin mood plus Lancome's La Nuit Tresor. That is basically what this one is, that combination. It is sultry, it is quite smoky. It has that, very dense, resonance, thick, rich nuance of the oud satin mood, and a very gourmand, sensual, sweet nature of the La Nuit Tresor. It is thick, it is rich, and very heavy. I'm super excited about wearing this one. I've just wore it like a few times, just one or two. It is very long lasting. It lasts you about 6 hours plus, especially on your clothes. It is amazing. If you are not a huge gourmand lover, but you want something a bit fruity, something earthy, something that is going to give you a punch, that is going to make a statement during this autumn, I have the perfect fragrance for you. And this one is called Madawi by Arabian Oud. This is different from the gold edition. They are quite different. The scent profile, everything is quite different, and this is super beautiful. This is very ladylike, very floral. It gives you some peach. Basically what this one gives is peach, some jammy peach, and some patchouli, and some oud. It doesn't have the notes of oud, but it has an oud accord. This is super beautiful. I am so impressed with the house, in general. I have the gold edition, and I'm sure I'm going to do a comparison video at one point. They are totally different. This one has been compared to Keki, and I beg to differ. There is no resemblance whatsoever to Keki. You get a jammy peach in this one, boxed with that patchouli, and a very Middle Eastern woody accord. It doesn't have the note of oud, but you get that sort of Middle Eastern vibes to this one, whereas in the other one you don't get it. So as I said, I'll bring you that comparison video, but this is super amazing. I think this is perfect for all year round, not only for the autumn, for all, it is quite dense enough to carry you through the 4 seasons or all the seasons that you wherever you live. It's going to carry you through every single season. It is light and fruity enough, appropriate for the summer weather, and also thick, dense with that patchouli, woody nuance, that is going to cut through the colder autumn, winter, weather. So this is Madawi. Back to my gourmand lovers, I have Lattafa's Anna and Glory, and I simply had to add this one to the list. This one is super appropriate for the colder months because it's quite thick, quite resonant, quite piercing, quite sharp. It has that sort of very thick, creme brulee, pineapple, vanilla, you know, that spicy pink pepper with the delicious Gourmand creme brulee with the pineapple, you know, with the vanilla. It is beautiful. You will be smelt, you'll be complimented. You will love this one on your skin and on your clothes. It's going to last you like hours upon hours, even days, you know, on your clothes. So I highly recommend Lattafa's Anna and Glory. The next recommendation I have here is Junoon Noir, and this one needs no introduction. I think I've seen it, you know, on almost everybody's fall recommendation, and rightly so. It has that apparent kumquat note, which I didn't know much about until, you know, I came across this fragrance, and it's so beautiful. It is a beautiful vanilla and kumquat, you know, combination. I love this one. It is so womanly, so cozy, so, you know, sexy, sensual. It is one that is super inviting. It is not too much. It doesn't overwhelm you in any, you know, bad way. It is one that, you know, pulls the compliment, and I super adore this one. So Junoon Noir for the autumn. If you love rose, then you're going to absolutely love Ahubbak Love in Paris by Ard Al Zaafaran. This is quite new on the market, but it's amazing. It reminds me of Atomic Rose, but this one is very dense, or much more denser. Something, you know, it has something like bubble gummy, you know, nuance to it. You know, it's not like a tuberose, like something bubble gummy to it, you know, and something slightly incensey about this one. You know, just imagine Atomic Rose or even Infinite Rose, and then infuse it with some bubble gummy, you know, nuance, and then some smoky incensey accord. This is beautiful. You know, it is very thick, very rich. You know, it is much deeper and denser than what I perceive in Infinite Rose. So I think this one goes for, you know, this one is much more unisex, you know, than Infinite Rose. I find Infinite Rose going a bit more feminine, but I think this one is much more, you know, unisex. Men can totally rock this one, and it will make a lot of sense. It is beautiful. It has that rose, you know. The notes for this fragrance is not out, but that is what I perceive. It's called Ahubbak Love in Paris by Ard Al Zaafaran. I know not everybody is into gourmands or florals. You know, people like their freshies all year round, and one freshie that I would recommend for all year round is called Roses the Emotion by FA Paris. This is super beautiful, and I'm wearing this one all year round. This is an apparent dupe of Barbados Roses of No Man's Land, and this is beautiful. It has some very soft, you know, very soft, gentle roses, some aquatic, you know, vibes, some very, you know, sensual, musky, watery nuances to it. This is beautiful. It has rose, but this rose is very light and airy. It is very beautiful, and I just want to put a lot of people on this fragrance because it is very beautiful. So this is Roses the Emotion by FA Paris. Mwah, chef kiss. Back to my powerful gourmand fake resonance. I have Abraaj Carmin, obviously a dupe of White Crimson Rock, and this is beautiful. It has a very heavy dose of cinnamon, a very heavy dose of honey, which comes across as a bit boozy to me. You know, the honey here is quite boozy to me, so you get that heavy cinnamon with that that rose. It has some rose, you know, all the notes here are quite heavy. The rose is heavy, the cinnamon is heavy, the honey in this one is also very heavy, and it's borderline boozy. It's got some very heavy pink pepper as well. You know, it's very spicy, very gourmand, very rich, very thick, you know, and it's super appropriate for the colder months. For my die-hard Delina fans, I'm going to recommend Shalina Exclusive by Fragrance World. This is obviously, you know, like a very much affordable alternative to the OG Delina Exclusive, and this is a very beautiful alternative. It's been a little over a year in my collection, and I thoroughly get that incense. I enjoy it much more. It is much more prominent. You get that, you know, delicious rose there. I think lychee rhubarb, you know, you get all of those, but what I predominantly get currently is that incense. You know, it's much more stronger. I prefer it now than I initially got it. You know, it is perfect for the autumn weather. It's going to cut through the cold weather. It's going to be beautiful. It is a compliment magnet, you know, already. I'm down to my last few drops in this one, and I'm sure I'm going to finish it this fall. So I would highly recommend Shalina Exclusive by Fragrance World. The next fragrance on this list is Rose Addict by Paris Corner, and this is fashioned after Tom Ford's Rose Prick. This is beautiful. I think it's going to be super appropriate for autumn because it has that very thick, rich, earthy patchouli, something quite, you know, woody. It has something quite, you know, animalic about it, you know, coupled with that rose, which is super perfect for fall. It is quite animalic yet very approachable. I will highly recommend that you check Rose Addict out, or anything in that, you know, Tom Ford Rose Prick, you know, family. Those are very beautiful. But the fact that they have that sort of earthy, animalic, you know, nuance to it, it makes them a perfect unisex fragrance for fall. The next fragrance I have on my list is Sienna by FA Paris as part of their Giovanni Lorenzi line, and this is in the likes of the Baccarat Rouge, especially or more closely to Spirito Fiorentino by Tiziana Terenzi, and this is super amazing. This is super amazing. If you feel Baccarat Rouge or any of its flankers or any of its dupes is quite light and airy and you can't smell it, try this one. This one is much more to the masculine side because it has some earthy, mossy, leathery, smoky nuance to it, which makes it quite unique. It carries you through your whole day with very few, top ups. This on its own is very beautiful. It is very good for layering, as in, all the Baccarat Rouge and its dupes. So this is Sienna by FA Paris. I've been loving this body oil lately, and I layer it with virtually everything with rose, everything with floral, everything with fruits. Like, it layers perfectly well with a lot of fragrances. I guess, dab this one on and then spray my fragrance on. It goes perfectly with everything. This one is called Hannen by Kadlaj. It's one of the sisters to Haramain. This one is more of a rose fruit scent. It is very heavy on the rose. It is very dense and deep. It is excellent on its own, but I prefer to layer this one. I guess dab it and spray my whatever fragrance it is on. It goes perfectly with a lot of fragrances. It goes perfectly with Roses the Emotion. It goes perfectly with Estrealla, or the dupe for Nina Ricci's Lake Stars. It goes perfectly with those two fragrances especially. But you can virtually layer this one with almost everything that you can think of, whether a rose scent, a fruity Gourmand. To me, it's got this quality about it, like Baccarat Rouge, which layers perfectly with every single thing. So this is Hannen by Kadlaj. Ever since the next fragrance was described as an ice cream scent, I cannot get that description off my mind, and that is exactly what I get. It's got cedar, it's got some rose and some vanilla. Just 3 notes, and it's amazing. And this one is called Ateeq by Junaid. The cedar in it is very prominent, and in most instances, cedar make fragrances quite masculine leaning. However, it is the vanilla in the rose that save this fragrance, making it very very wearable and very unisex. It is very delicious. It gives me that sort of very minty vanilla ice cream, vibes. That is what exactly this one gives me. It is very delicious. It is very intense. It is very potent. It fills up a room. You don't need to overspray this one, otherwise you're going to choke yourself and people around you. It is one of those fragrances that overpowers almost everything around you, so you need to watch out when you wear this one. It is very beautiful, very delicious, and very room filling. And this is Ateeq by Junaid. And the last one I have here is Ard Al Zaafaran's WAFA. This is so beautiful. It is delicious. It's got some coffee, some caramel, some sugar, some I think some chocolate nuances. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful gourmand which leans a bit masculine. It gets a little bit masculine, but it is perfectly unisex. You get those chocolatey gourmand, cacao, coffee, notes in it, and then some very heavy, dense, woody, earthy, mossy nuance, which is so beautiful. As I said, it's marketed towards men, but I think it's a perfect unisex fragrance which can be super appropriate for this fall. So this is Ard Al Zaafaran's WAFA. I hope there was something for everyone, and I also hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.